to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg. This is Bachelor Talks, and today we are discussing season with Colton and the episode in Thailand. I'm just gonna flat out say it. This week's episode was boring to me. Like, I struggled to hold my attention to what was actually happening in the show. Found myself playing on my phone a lot, not really paying attention to it. But I mean, I guess that happens after weeks and weeks of crazy drama. So the first date card of the night goes to Heather. And I feel like Heather's just still around for airtime purposes because honestly, I feel like especially after this episode, there's a big divide between people that you know are like hometown dates and people that just haven't evolved at all with their relationship. At least that's what the producers are letting us think. So in my opinion, from what we've seen on the show so far, Heather, in my opinion, is still just there for airtime purposes, her never been kissed storyline. Yeah. They went on a, oh, going down when I don't need to be. Okay, so they went on a little boat ride in Thailand and I just couldn't because they kept zooming in, especially like on Colton, like eating stuff and like slipping on his fingers, and I was like, okay, we get it. She's never been kissed. You don't need to keep zooming in on his mouth every time he's eating or sucking on something, okay? I could have done without that. And for me, it was just kind of like a repeat of his and Becca's one-on-one, because when they were on their little tropical vacation on their one-on-one, they kept making innuendos about like how he was a virgin, and I felt like it was the same storyline happening here, and I'm just over it at this point. The one thing I found odd was with Heather's story, and she said she had a, I think it was, this is where I started zoning out. So she was either dating somebody or casually seeing someone for 8 months. But how do you see somebody for 8 months and like still see them, but like not ever kiss them? That was like just bizarre to me. So what are your thoughts on that? I would love to hear. And another thing I didn't like about this date was that Colton didn't want special treatment or anyone to treat him differently because he's a virgin, and he said that he would hate it if people did that to him, but he's doing that to Heather. Like, he's literally making such a big deal out of the fact that she'd never been kissed before and like his worries with it and all this and that, and it's just like, you're literally treating Heather the way you did not want to be treated. So I found that odd. But he decided he liked Heather enough to keep her around to give her a rose. And so now it's like, are you guys going to kiss or not? And in a very awkward scene, out of nowhere, fireworks start going off and Heather does get her first kiss on national television. So it's a happy story for her. Now we kind of go back to the room where all the girls are. We see Elise getting, you know, prim and proper. She's dressing herself up. All other girls are just like in their comfy clothes, chilling without makeup on, and Elise is getting herself done up. So you know something is about to go down. They start playing the clip of her saying she just feels so uncomfortable with the fact that she has to share somebody with all these other girls. And every season, there's always one person that is a main focal point of this problem. And I'm sure every single girl in the house struggles with that because it's not a normal thing. I mean, like, this whole show it's not normal. But also know what you're signing yourself up for. So I don't know if she didn't think things through or thought maybe she could get through it or something, but all of her reasons as to why she was leaving, it was kind of like, why were you here in the first place? She straight up told Colton, I can't marry you after just dating you a couple weeks and you've been dating other girls, and I'm not gonna marry somebody that's been like basically locking lips with somebody else the day before. And she gives Colton basically an ultimatum. In my mind, she was saying either you leave the show now with me and we date for a year and see how things go, or I'm leaving. So that was just kind of awkward because the whole premise of the show is for him to date multiple people to find that person that he has a connection with. So it was just odd to me. Elise ends up leaving. Everybody's rooting for her to be the next Bachelorette, but she couldn't handle this. I don't think she could handle being the Bachelorette. And no offense to Elise, I don't think they're gonna give Bachelorette to somebody that placed like 12th. So maybe she'll be on Paradise, but I don't even know if that would be a good place for her, honestly. What are your thoughts on the whole Elise situation? I would love to know. Moving on along to the group date of this episode, we have both Hannahs, Demi, Kaylin, Sydney, Tayshia, Kirpa, Onika, Nicole, and Elsie, and it is a Survivor date. I am so sick of these Survivor dates. They are so overused and so overcycled. And I was laughing because on Monday I was on Time Hop and going through, and 7 years ago, this is a tweet that I have on my feed. And it goes, I'm sorry, if a guy ever took me out fishing and looking for coconuts to see if we could survive together, I'd run the other way right then. Bye. So, you know, this is just no new material here on The Bachelor. I thought this date was so cheesy. I just couldn't deal with it because I just, you know, they're like, I want my spouse to be somebody that's adventurous. I want somebody that's not afraid to try new things. But it's like, Colton keeps saying this, yet on any adventurous group date, he's the most terrified one. Let's go back to the whole leech thing from last week in Singapore. He did not want any leeches on him. And just like watching him, he was so jumpy. If you paid attention to Colton on this group date, he jumped at like every single bug. When he was like getting the steak on him, he's just like, and it's like he was terrified himself. So it was just funny to me because it's just like, does he even have any say in these date ideas? I don't know. I just thought it was funny that he's like, I want a wife that's adventurous and daring and this and that, and he can't even handle it himself. I am with the Hannahs and Demi in this group. If I was on this group date, my ass would go back to the hotel too and get some cocktails and food and bring it back, because I'm not eating bugs for anybody. Like, I don't care how much I like you. I'm not gonna sit there and eat a bug and, you know, possibly get parasites. Like, it's like, I like you, but I don't like you. I don't like anyone that much. Would you eat bugs and shit in the jungle for somebody that you were dating? Like, Hannah, beauty pageant Hannah's starting to get on my nerves just a little bit. She's slowly starting to peck away at me because this whole like Hannah beast and her just going like, ah, like every 2 seconds. It's like, can you not? Then we have one group that was with Colton and Tayshia. Tasha's coming out of the woodwork here, people. She was just kind of like flying under the radar until like the last 2 episodes, and then she was just like wha-bam everywhere, like trying her hard. I think she took some notes out of Demi's book, honestly, because she was the smart one and was like, let's split up. You two look for food and water here, and Colton and I are gonna look for food and water over here. And she just makes out with them the whole time. So I was kind of like, damn girl, okay, I see you. And then throughout the rest of the episode, even at the rose ceremony, she pulls him aside for Chinese lanterns, and I was just like, oh, she is stepping it up. She's like the little underdog in this competition that is just rising up to the top. And then I also made a note of a quote that Demi said, and she says, they can suck maggots, but I'm drinking champagne. I feel like that is a quote I can totally live by. Now we have some interest in this episode, thank goodness, because I don't know about you guys, but it's like you are starting to fall asleep at this point. So there is some drama between Nicole and Onyeka, and Onyeka is claiming that Elise told her privately that Nicole is not here for the right reasons. Nicole is looking for a reason or for opportunity. Nicole's looking for opportunity to get out of Miami and is using this as her ticket to get out of Miami and move to LA or whatever it is she wants to do. Basically saying like Nicole's not here, she's looking for fame. And I'm just, even though it's drama to kind of keep the episode interesting, at this point I'm also like, when is this going to stop? Like, when are these girls, like, there's no clear villain of the season because every week it's a new set of girls going at each other. They really did a lot with the casting this season. I just find this whole situation suspicious. Not that I have like any reason to doubt Onyeka or anything that she has to say or to discredit what she has to say, But if Elise left, why wouldn't she say this to Colton last night? Like, you would think if she was leaving and she was concerned about Nicole and what Nicole told her, and she's telling other girls in the house, why wouldn't she just say something to Colton herself? So what's your take on the situation? Do you think Anyeka is just like pulling shit out of her ass? Or do you think that Elise actually said this? Because Tayshia comes in and says, that is not what Elise said. She did not say Nicole was like using Colton for fame. Like, you got it wrong, you're twisting the words. Yet nobody wants to say this to Colton. So everyone wants to come to Colton with drama, like she's saying this, she's using you, blah, 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 but like nobody's going up to him to correct the situation. So I just find this drama so bizarre, and I'm kind of starting to wonder if it's something like the producers like put out in the air to like see if anyone would grab onto it to try to keep it interesting. I don't know. But anyways, beauty pageant Hannah gets the rose this day because she ate a bug. I don't know. Now we have the second one-on-one of the day, and that is with Cassie. And to be honest, this is where I completely lost interest in the show. I think their date was a private island. Like I said, I totally zoned out for most of this. And all I really have to say about this date is one word: infatuated. Colton is clearly infatuated with Cassie. She is the front runner, and in my mind, this proves my theory from my earlier videos where I said I believe they've been hiding their storyline, because you're not going to be like making out and dry humping if you weren't feeling each other for like the last couple of weeks. So it's clear to me that they've really been hiding that relationship. I wonder if they've been doing the same thing with Tayshia, but it is clear that they have a bond like nobody else in the house has a bond. So I think it's safe to say at this point for me, Cassie's definitely going to be in the final two if she makes it that far. Now let's go ahead and jump into the rose ceremony, where this Nicole and Anyeka drama just continues on. It just gets to a point where they're arguing so loud. Colton and Elsie, I think it was that he was talking to, they can't even concentrate on a conversation, and they're both just sitting there like what is happening? And it's just funny because Anyeka said earlier she has it in the bag and she's guaranteed that she's getting a rose, and I was like, you just talk shit about another girl. Like, I wouldn't count, you know, your chickens before they hatch, so to say. Now we get to the point where Nicole, she's getting meltdown of the week. I know Elise left. I know Elise like had her breaking point, but again, Nicole gets meltdown of the week. She is pleading with Colton, this is not true. I can't believe my character is being brought up this way, blah, 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 blah. From what I've seen of Nicole, I don't think she's somebody that is like that because she's so emotional. I feel like she would have a much bitchier vibe if she really was using Colton just for fame. But it's kind of suspicious because her job title is social media coordinator, but I would think being the social media coordinator, if she really wanted to elevate her status and get herself up, she should know how to do that on her own. She shouldn't necessarily need a show to do so. So what are your thoughts on Nicole? Do you think the rumors about her are true? Let me know in the comments down below. I also made note of another quote of the night by Tayshia. She says, if one of them leaves tonight, they put themselves in the fire, and that is 1,100% true. If I was Colton, like he gets up and straight up leaves. I was like, is this the part where he jumps over the fence? Because if I was Colton, I would totally jump over like a gate too to get away from all of this. You could just see how frustrated he is. He's so sick of it. Like, I feel like he just immensely regrets agreeing to do this season. He can't handle the girl drama. So if I was Colton, Nicole and Anyeka at this point would just go home, because in my mind, he does not have that strong of a bond with either of them. So I would just cut them and be done with it. But I guess we have to see what happens next week, because they left us with a nice sweet to be continued. Alrighty, so before we jump into spoiler alerts, I want to know, who are your picks for hometowns? Right now, my picks are both Hannah's, Kaylin, Cassie, and I also think Tasha could be up there. Like, I feel like she's starting to turn into a front runner. I feel like she's the one that snuck up on us. So, because she's really how she's stepping up the game. She's really putting in the effort here. So let me know. I could also see Demi making it to hometowns too. I just don't see Demi in the final. I think that she's just like something fun and entertaining for Colton, and then once things really start to get serious, I can see him cutting her. So what are your thoughts? What are your opinions on this episode? And the only spoiler I guess I have for this week is that if Colton makes it that far, because there's all these rumors swirling around that Cassie leaves the show too. And there's also a rumor that Colton ends up picking no one because Cassie left. So I don't know. I don't want any confirmation on how the show ends. Do not leave a spoiler with how the show ends. I don't want to see it. People watching my videos don't want to see it. So keep that in mind. But any other tea that you have, let it out in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys because I don't really go digging about this show. If something pops up naturally, then I'll look at it. Or if you guys leave me a comment or something, I'll look into something some more. So just let me know. I mean, the main thing this week was really the drama between Anyeka and Nicole. So going to last week's video, a lot of you guys were sharing the same opinion of me. A lot of you guys aren't hating Demi either. And some of you are also sick of the Colton vlogging thing. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified when my video is live. And the first hour my video is live, I will immediately be responding to comments. So if you want to get your Bachelor discussion on, be sure to have the bell on. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I do have another channel called Crystal Corner. Be sure to check it out down below. And if you are behind on any of my other videos, you can catch up right over here. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.